Okay, our next topic is the protected area network. Now, as you know, this is given in your UPSC main syllabus, and this topic is quite a very broad topic. Okay, many subtopics comes under this particular big topic, and we have to consider the each and every subtopic relating with this particular protected area network. Okay, so here we will only introduce ourselves with the topic which is called the protected area network. What is protected area network? What are the aims of protected area network? Then who is handling it? Who is involved in this particular process? All things we are going to discuss here. But all of this discussion will be of an introductory nature, and all of these subtopics will be covered in the subsequent lectures. Okay, so consider this is your syllabus. We are dealing with the paper number 2 and the chapter number 5, that is ecology and plant geography, and we are here at the protected area network. Okay, so let us consider the first slide. See, according to the IUCN, and protected area can be defined as the geographical space. Okay, what it is? It is a geographical space which is recognized and dedicated and managed through the legal or the other effective means. That is, if there is some geographical area and which is managed or dedicated by means of the legal aid or some other effective means to achieve a very long term goal of a conservation. That is, whatever the biodiversity is there into that particular geographical area, if you want to conserve that particular biodiversity and you are taking some legal or the other help in regarding that, then such a kind of area is termed as a protected area. Okay, so whenever you define a protected area literally means it's a geographical space. Okay, it's some kind of geographical space on the mother earth which is recognized, dedicated, managed through the legal help or the other effective means in order to achieve the long term aim. And what is the long term aim? The conservation of the biodiversity. That is, whatever the important biodiversity species are living into that particular geographical area are very important to conserve, and this conservation is done through the legal help or some other effective means, and then we called it as a protected area. Okay, and this particular area is associated with the ecosystem service and the cultural values. So International Union for Conservation of Nature clearly defining which area to call as a protected area network. Okay, protected area are those areas which are nothing but the small geographical area which is dedicated, managed through the legal aids or some other effective means, and with the primary aim of which is the conservation. Okay, so two things are very special here. The very first thing you should remember that the legal aid can be taken to conserve the particular area, and second, the aim was to conserve the biodiversity. Okay, when we say protected area, we are going to provide the protection to that particular area. And why we will protect any particular area on the mother earth? It is because of it has the so many biodiversity or much of the species are living there, and they are sensitive for the extinction. Okay, and that is why we have to conserve them, and that is why the protected area is clearly defined by the IUCN likewise. Okay, now consider, see, the protected areas like the national parks, wilderness areas, then the community conserved areas and the nature reserve, etc., are the mainstays of the biodiversity conservation. So literally here under the protected area network, you can include the national parks. Okay, it is the whole topic in itself, right? The national parks are included in the protected area. Then the wild areas, whatever the wild areas are there which needs protection, they are also included in the protected area. Then the community conservation and the nature reserves are all of the part of the protected area network. Okay, so that is why at the beginning of the lecture we are discussing that this particular topic, that is the protected area network, is the huge topic and can be subdivided into the many topics like the national parks, then the other types of the parks, wild areas, community, or the nature reserves, all are the part of protected area network, and that is why we have to consider these topics individually as well. Then while also contributing to the people's livelihood, and particularly at the local level. Okay, so here what we are going to do, whatever the wild area is there, we want to conserve that particular area, and we want to conserve all the species into that particular area, and it will not only help us to conserve the nature naturally, but it will also help the local community of people. Okay, whatever the local community is living there, this local community is typically dependent on these kinds of the forest products. Okay, whatever the forest product which is coming out of that particular geographical area, the local community is quite dependent on them, and that is why it becomes important to protect this particular area, not only from the nature point of view but also from the human point of view well. Okay, so human interests are also involved into this, and that is why these protected areas network are holding importance here. Okay, now see, the protected areas are at the core of the efforts towards conserving the nature. Okay, and the service it provides us like the food, clean water supply, then the medicine and the protection from the impacts of the natural disaster. So basically what we are doing in the protected area network, we are conserving whole of the nature, and conserving whole of the nature has many advantages, not only for the natures but also for the from the human point of view. For example, our food and our clean water, our medicine, all of these things are coming rightly from the nature. So it is our primary aim is to it will be our primary aim to conserve this nature, and through the protected area network we are doing exactly the same. So whatever is in the interest of the nature and what is the in and the interest of the human are all the same. That is, we have to conserve the biodiversity, and that is why we have formulated this particular protected area network, so that we can conserve our ecosystems, we can conserve our nature, which is giving us the food, the clean water supply and the medicine. Okay, and not only this will also protect us from the impact of the natural disasters, right? Because all of this nature, if it is in the balance, it will not show many of the natural disasters, and if it is imbalance due to the one or the another reason or any anthropogenic activity, it will cause many natural disasters like the earthquakes or the volcanoes, etc. Okay, so here in the protected area network, you have to understand that we are conserving the nature not only from the nature point of view but also from the human point of view as well. Now you can ask, what are the aims, what are the specific aims which are given by the IUCN for the protected area network? Now the aims are very obvious. Okay, every time the IUCN talks about this, the obvious aims are the valuing and conserving the biodiversity. That is, you should value the biodiversity and you should conserve the biodiversity. Okay, this is the first aim. You should know what is the value of that particular biodiversity, and you should make effort to conserve that particular biodiversity. This is the first aim of the protected area network. If you protect any area in your surrounding for its rich biodiversity, whether it is the plants or the animals, or in other words you can say whether it's the flora or the fauna, if you conserve them carefully, then you can in the process you can maintain whole of the ecosystem, and then this ecosystem in turn can stabilize whole of the nature. So valuing and conserving the biodiversity is the first aim of the protected area network. The second aim is governing the nature's use and sharing its benefits in equality. Okay, see, this is a very important point, because here what IUCN trying to say is that how we are going to use the nature. Okay, how we should use the nature, this also has to be defined. Okay, and we should use them in equality, and we should form a balance with the nature, that how we are going to use it, and in the process we should not destroy that particular nature of the ecosystem. Okay, that is, whatever the nature is there for a particular ecosystem and we are using it, we should not use this particular ecosystem to that level that it's going to make the collapse of that particular ecosystem. So here you should understand carefully that the balance should be strike between humans and the nature, that how humans are going to use the resources which are freely given by the nature. Okay, this is the second aim which is given by the given for the protected area network by the IUCN. Now the third important aim of this particular protected area network is to deploying the nature based solution for the global challenges. Now whatever the global challenges are there today, we should have the solution which are nature based. Okay, it should not be artificial technique to solve the global challenges. For example, today globally we have the many challenges, and to solve these challenges majority of the time the artificial techniques are adapted. Okay, and these artificial techniques are actually very harmful from the ecosystem point of view. So the third aim of the protected area network is to provide nature based solutions. Okay, for the global challenges, whatever the global challenges are there, we should provide them the nature based solution. This is the third aim of the protected area network. Okay, so all of these three aims are very important. As you can see, the similar three aims are also used in this particular logo by the IUCN. Okay, and that is why it will become important part in the answer of the UPSC mains examination. Okay, so carefully remember these are three aims which belongs to the protected area network. Now see, these are protected areas has been initiated for the coordinated conservation of ecological units and corridors with the bilateral and or the multilateral cooperation of the neighboring nations. So here you should understand the polity is already involved. Okay, the governments are involved and the legal help is also involved, and by having the government rules legally, by applying these government rules to the ecosystem, we can actually conserve, and actually we can have the coordination, that is the multilateral cooperation with the other nations as well, in order to conserve the particular biodiversity area, because the political boundaries are not there for the ecology. Ecology does not go through the political boundaries, because if there are two countries and these are two countries are having the defined political boundary here, but you can find the similar ecosystem which is overlapping both of the countries. So in such a way, or in such a time, you should require the multilateral cooperation of the two neighboring nations to conserve that particular specific area. So whether it's a legal aid, or whether it's a government involvement, or whether it's an involvement of a two nation, all things are required during the protected area network working. Because here we want to conserve the nature, and while conserving this particular nature, we want the cooperation right from the governments, not only from that one particular country, but also from the other countries as well. Now, actually, there are four categories of the protected areas. Okay, the very first is the national park, second are the sanctuaries, the third is the conservation reserves, and fourth is the community reserve. Okay, and as we have already discussed that we are going to deliver a lecture on these individual topics very soon. Okay, so this is only the introduction regarding the protected area network. In this particular introduction, we have learned that what do you mean by the protected area network. Then after that, we have studied who involved into this particular process of conservation. Then we have also understood what are the aims of protected area network, and finally we have discussed that there are the four categories of the protected areas, that is the national parks, sanctuaries, conservation reserves, and the community reserves. Okay, so in the next lecture we will focus on these different types of the categories which belongs to the protected area network. All right.